I'm joined today by Edward Hightower, Managing Director of Motoring Ventures, a consulting firm focused on driving value in automotive and manufacturing businesses around the world. Your focus on facilitating value added manufacturing and industrialization in Africa, specific to automotive. What does that work entail, and why are you pursuing it right now?
Well, Valerie, throughout my career in the global automotive industry, I've had the opportunity to help companies grow and succeed in China, India, South Korea, Mexico, and Brazil. And the reality is the next growth opportunities are in markets on the African continent. The continent is the home of the fastest growing population, the fastest growing workforce, the fastest growing middle class. And as done by many of the nations that I've mentioned over the last 30 years, many African governments are interested in driving more value added manufacturing into their countries, um, putting a growing population to work, and developing the economies through in industrialization. And what I'm doing is working to put that experience that I've had in the industry to work in towards these opportunities, on the continent. The reason why the automotive sector is such an opportunity on the continent is if you look at the entire continent, there are 1.3 billion people. And 1.3 billion people, that's about 17.5% of the world's population. Um, and that 17.5% of the world's population and growing only builds 1% of the world's automobiles. So you look at China by comparison, the country of China has a similar population to the African continent. But China's 1.3 billion people, they produce somewhere between 25, 27% of the world. So there's certainly an opportunity for local manufacturing on the continent, especially as the markets grow. And as the listeners of this podcast will know, manufacturing principles highlight the opportunity of producing. The best place to produce is closest to your customer.
You have a book you've authored on this topic, Motoring Africa, published in 2018. Could you give us a glimpse of who Motoring Africa is for, what the book covers, and perhaps a takeaway or a few relevant to manufacturing?
It's targeted towards the business community and the investment community that is looking for that next growth opportunity. Motoring Africa, the book, it makes the case for why the markets on the African continent are growing, why it's the next growth market, and it develops a roadmap. It presents a roadmap for how to industrialize the automotive sector in 6 of those 54 countries. We focus specifically on South Africa, Morocco, Kenya, Ghana, Ethiopia, and Nigeria. And it also shares case studies, several that I've observed from my work in the industry, and others that have just occurred over the last 30 years or so, of Asian nations in Latin America that have successfully industrialized in the automotive industry over the last 30 years.
And diving deeper into a particular topic, sustainable industrialization, which you include in the title of Motoring Africa, what is that? What is sustainable industrialization?
How I've defined sustainable industrialization in Motoring Africa is really the next level beyond industrialization, and it really focuses on 4 factors. First, it's optimizing the productivity of the manufacturing entity and its cost structure. It means building green and sustainable products and implementing sustainability in the operations. It also means implementing circular economy strategies. That means looking throughout the entire life cycle of the product and value chain of the product to ensure that the waste is reduced and recycling is optimized. And also, it looks at a linkage between the community, meaning having the right impact on the environment, and not just the physical environment, but the people in which the plant and the value chain is located, so that there is a partnership between the business and the community. And one of the ways I sum it up in the book is, industrialization is essentially putting the team on the field and Sustainable industrialization is training that team to operate at a championship level of performance.